Welcome to Get Fit Friday. Today I just wanted to go over how to use these crazy yellow and black straps that you may have seen at the gym and a few exercises that you can do with those for shoulders, abs, hips, just kind of a whole mixture of things so that you guys can have an idea of what to do if you see those at the gym, because they can be really effective if you're wanting to do some body weight suspension training. They don't have any stretch to them, so it's just that you are holding yourself up with the straps and using gravity as your resistance. So they're a great way to kind of incorporate a lot of muscles at the same time. And they're one of the few small exercise equipments that you could even install in your own home and do in your living room without taking up a whole bunch of space. And it's really effective for a lot of things at once without having to buy a big machine or something like that. So I'm going to start with just some shoulder exercises that you guys can try. Make sure that if you're not sure how to use them, that you do ask a trainer or someone at the gym to make sure that you're doing it right and that everything is secure. But I'm going to just go through them kind of quickly. If you have questions, feel free to comment on the comments. So here goes a couple to start with. So this first one is just your basic row. So instead of doing a machine or dumbbell, you're using your body weight as a resistance. So I'm just gonna kind of walk forward and lean back, and then I'm gonna fall back till my arms are straight, trying to keep my back as straight as I can. And then I'm just pulling myself up, squeezing my shoulder blades at the back, keeping them from shrugging up towards my ears. And you can make this easier or harder by just adjusting where your feet are. So if I move my foot forward just a little bit, then it's quite a bit harder. Versus if I move it back just a little bit, it's quite a bit easier. So feel free to just play with that a little bit and find where it's giving you a good enough workout where you can do 10 to 15, but you're tired by the end. The next one is basically a reverse fly. So again, you start in that fall back, straight arms position, and then to pull yourself up, you just bring your arms apart. So trying to keep the elbows just barely bent, not a big bend in the elbow. Fall back down. Pull yourself up and out. And then fall back down. Again, try not to shrug your shoulders. You don't want to be up here by your ears. You want to keep those shoulders down and back. Squeezing the shoulders at the back without arching your back either. You want to keep the core engaged the whole time. Okay, so that's your basic reverse fly. The next one is, I just call it a Y. You're basically raising yourself up overhead with your arms. So again, same starting position, arms straight, and then you turn your hands down so palms are facing towards the floor, and then you're just pulling yourself up, raising your arms up straight overhead. Again, trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the back and the abs engaged so you're not arching your back. Okay. So there's just a few that you can play with for the shoulders. If you turn around and face the other way, you can basically get back into a push-up position. So basically I'm just going to be raising myself up, like so. And again, you can make this easier or harder by backing your feet up or forward a little bit. To make it harder, you'll back them up. So it looks like this. And I always try to make sure I'm engaging my shoulder blades through this movement and kind of getting that extra press at the top so I'm not just collapsing in my shoulder blades. Abs again should be engaged so that you're not letting your back dip down into this position, but you're keeping it as flat as you can. You can also go into kind of the reverse of what we've done on the other side. So you're doing an open chest fly. So you're coming in and then coming back up. Arms just go straight out to the side, pulling yourself back up. Okay, and then last, same thing, kind of there in reverse, is just the Y's overhead. I call this Superman. So just laying out, trying to keep the back flat, and then coming back up. Straight out, butt tucked under so your back doesn't arch, abs engaged, arms just reaching out overhead. Okay, so that's kind of some basic shoulder / chest exercises you can try. If you want to work the legs, you can do some reverse lunges. So if I'm here, I'm facing the wall, I take a big step backwards And then I'm just going down onto that leg and then using these for support. You can come all the way up and then take another step, or you can just keep your foot back there and just reps. And so I'm just using these more for balance than I'm pulling myself up in this case. You can also do a full single leg squat with this. If you can't do one by yourself, this is a good way to get there. So you just kind of bring that other leg out of the way, sit down in a chair, come back up, and just use the arms as much as needed, but try to do it with your legs as much as you can, making sure your knee is straight, it's not diving in, your hip is staying tucked underneath you, okay? Kind of looks like you're sitting in a chair. So those are a couple leg exercises you can try. There's also some you can do that are a little bit more abdominant. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you that very good in the video, but I'll try. So I'm gonna make these a little bit longer. Grab something to kneel on. I just have this little piece of foam. Okay. You're gonna wanna be pretty close to the attachment. I'm kneeling on both knees, and then I've got my arms out here in front, and all I'm gonna do is lean forward into basically a plank, and then come back up. And the longer your straps are, the harder this is. So if it's too easy, just lengthen your straps a little bit. So laying out, coming back up. So that's just a kind of basic plank exercise you can do on here. Lastly, there's one other one I kind of like to do for flexibility. I call it the butterfly. Basically, you're gonna start on this side, go out into that Superman pose with a little wider foot position, and then all you're gonna do is lean to the right, keeping the tension in the straps, stretching your lower back. You can kind of let your knees bend and keep coming around, and then come back up and repeat to the other side. Just kind of letting your body go with gravity, stretching out the whole back and the whole shoulder. That one feels pretty good just for flexibility. So that's kind of my basic set of exercises I like to do for TRX. Feel free to try any of them. Give me your feedback or questions that you might have. Like I said, these are a nice way to strengthen your body without having to use a lot of equipment, and you're using a lot of muscles all at once, so you kill a lot of birds with one stone. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and hope you have a great weekend. Thanks.